Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Strife Championship Series, Week 2, Day 1. We're currently in Game 2 between Ascent Gaming and Crimson Blade. Ascent Gaming took Game 1, so let's see what Crimson Blade can do to take this back. Looks like, first of all, they have banned out the full power bow that Zevil ran last game. I'm Azraki Dragon, and casting with me today is The Source.
Yeah, no bow. No bow, no bow. I would never let Zevil have bow, at least for a while, till somebody figures it out. Now, to be honest, he probably didn't walk into that saying, I'm going full power bow. It was probably a, we're ahead, I can, gain a bit of advantage by building some power into my tanking items, give me a little bit more oomph, and then that oomph transitioned into, we just played that position, that match really, really well, or, that last engagement, I can get a little bit more oomph, and it sort of spiraled out of control. It was really a build of opportunity. I wouldn't say that he went into that, but it's good to take it away from them.
And remember, if you guys want to support Surreal Productions and the Strife Championship Series, you guys can always go to the Teespring, where we have a Teespring campaign. If you guys want to show off some Strife swag, some Strife competitive swag, and show that off to anyone you meet on a daily basis, then please go and follow that link. Someone's going to post it in chat, I hope.
Admins in chat should post that. We have put together a series with the Strife Championship Series logo, or a t-shirt with the Strife Championship Series logo. So if you guys are interested, go check that out. Moving back to our picks and bans, we've got Rook, Lady Tinder, Claudessa being picked up for Crimson Blade. And again, Ascent Gaming, they felt really confident that last match. They brought out the Minerva. They're going to go one step further. They're going to give us 4 champions we don't see as often, or heroes we don't see as often, and rarely in the same comp. Vex, Jinshi, Caprice, Ace.
Yeah, the only one who's really seen very much at all so far is Vex. Jinshi's had a little bit of popularity, especially with Ascent Gaming. We know that they like to play Jinshi. And I actually think Crimson Blade should have taken away Nikolai. But it looks like Ascent Gaming doesn't want Nikolai. They're just going to go for...
They couldn't go Nikolai.
Super bruiser comp, I guess. They've got Vex, Jinshi, and Ace. Those all do quite a bit of damage while still building tankiness. So that could be their sort of big thing right there. They want a lot of bruisers rather than a tank and carries.
Yeah, they couldn't have gone with Nikolai. They were short an AD carry. You can break meta as much as you want in some situations, but you can't not take an AD carry into most games. We
thought you couldn't go full power bow, but Ascent Gaming went for it.
Yes, but when you take out an AD, when you take an AD carry out of the position, you've just said we're never pushing towers, ever. We are never going to be strong enough to push towers, and it is just so hard to make something happen when you put such a blanket restriction on your play styles. So. Yes, they've got a insane diving team comp, but they at least still have Vermilion to be their back range AD carry, and he is the longest range AD carry in the game. So right now this comp says Jinshi dives, Ace dives, Caprice dives, Vex peels, Vermilion does Vermilion things.
I can definitely see that, especially since Vex is one of the best peelers in the game with a shield that can break CC. That is huge, especially when you're going up against a team that has Rook, Tinder, and Ray. There are a lot of hard CCs right there. A couple of, like the Lady Tinder's Bindweed, Rook's Deliverance, and Ray's Stasis Field. Those are all some really high, just really good hard CCs that their team can pull out. And if you have someone that can help break CC for another member of your team, that's pretty huge. And I'm definitely going to want to see them utilize that to its fullest potential, especially on Vermilion, who, like you said, has the longest range on his auto attacks out of any AD carry. So I think they're going to be able to make some good use of this comp.
All right, so we're about 20 seconds out. Who do you think's taking this series? Probably Ascent Gaming after such a dominating performance. And if they feel confident enough to pick these off-meta picks, they clearly have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, and after game 1, they're riding momentum. They've really strutted their stuff, and Crimson Blade really need a mind... I almost want to say a full reset of their mindset at this point. They want to make sure that they just clear the first game out of their mind, because best of threes are a very different ball game than any best of ones or anything like that, where you do have to take into consideration the team's mindsets. I also think that the momentum that Ascent Gaming has is going to help them win the second game as well. They might end up getting complacent. I'm not sure. We'll end up seeing whether or not they do. It's definitely fully possible, but they might not be a team that gets complacent. But you never know. Full power bow. I don't know if that was sort of a we're just too far ahead anyway, or if full power bow is going to be something that we start seeing more often. I think again it was just one of those we're so far ahead we can do this.
All right, so I've been kicked out of the drafter again, or not the drafter, the match again. So
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna, yeah. Let me know when they're actually into the match, and I may be able to reconnect.
All right. Meanwhile, you should play by play your escapades to get back into the. Like, did you log out
No.
of the client or?
No, it was it was just a glitch in the client, and it seems to be instantly letting me back in.
Oh,
So
the
it
source
shouldn't be a
got a
problem.
glitch, but he's going to be getting let back into the game. Very nice job by the source's computer.
Yeah,
See, you
my
gotta
piece,
play by play it. I don't know what you're doing.
I gotta
here.
play by play it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? 20 seconds, 30 seconds, halfway loaded, almost there, 90%, 90%. And you know, if I did that all the time, because I have a lot of glitches with Strife. I don't know why. But I am in a game, and I can see both the teams pushed out onto the map. Looking at some of the item choices, pretty much full regen. On a lot of or region on a lot of tanks, and I'm just so curious about this Ace Jin Chi combo. It's going to be, I think, no, OGC is playing Caprice, so Assassin Caprice and full dive Ace.
So we can't actually see what these guys took for consumables, but Pookie Bear started with boots, which is sort of odd on Ray. Maybe he wants to go for a boot rush,
Early rocket boots.
early rocket boots. Yeah, that's a possibility. I just think that Ray is going to suffer a little bit if he doesn't have early mana regen. One of the big things that you want to do as Ray is be able to counter push the lane, especially against Caprice and Ace, who have some pretty good pushing power themselves. And if you don't have mana regen, you're not going to be able to spam out bots as much, and you're not going to be really able to push the wave as much as you want to. So maybe I would have liked to see a mana regen start rather than boots, but perhaps he's got some really neat stuff planned for a rocket boot rush.
He's probably running Mana Potion. I think Mana Potion is the only potion you can buy in conjunction with boots, because boots cost a crap ton. If I remember correctly. So,
Right.
taken. You were saying?
Oh, I just said right in agreement. But meanwhile, in the top lane, we have a little bit of poke from either side, and if we look at the Vex Jin Shi versus Rook Tinder matchup, I almost want to give it to Rook Tinder because they've got super safe lane, but at the same time, we know what Ascent Gaming can do to their lane opponents, so we'll see if they can pressure them out enough to basically just outplay that sort of good comp that Crimson Blade have in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a little rough for them. It's actually going to be a nice Dragon Reach back in the OGC, but no real engagement. Again, I think you're right, because there really isn't enough mana. A lot of damage onto Tompus down in the bottom lane. So this is a bottom lane Vermilion, something we don't see very often, something I'm pretty fond of, because I like playing AD carries, and I like being as greedy as humanly possible, so playing a solo lane fits that decision-making. But he took a lot of damage there, so up against Harrower, I think Thomas is going to be in a little bit of trouble if he over-aggresses. But again, they feel very, very confident if they're willing to pick these very off-meta lanes.
Yeah, and I think Tompus is actually going to have a pretty good time coming
A
into
lot of
level
damage
4
in
mid
the mid
lane.
lane. Zingod goes really, really low. It's actually a battle between him and SMD, or him and Pookie Bear. And Pookie Bear is actually going to come out of that with 2 kills ahead. So great play there by Zingod to just keep on tanking. He never stopped autoing and just staying in the way.
Yeah, that was something that he really just wanted to make sure that Pookie Bear got as far ahead as possible. And in this sort of gameplay, I really like that decision. Zingod being able to stick in there and make sure that the kills are taken and that they can get those kills back. Meanwhile, I think Ascent Gaming might have just been a little bit too aggressive right there. If you look at their comp, they can't really jump out of a fight until OJC hits level 6. So maybe a little bit of over-aggression before they hit some of those big power spikes that they need.
Yep, so finished Fervor Boots. I actually think I saw those. No, wait, no, that was Vermilion. That was my mistake. I thought I saw Fervor Boots go down onto the Ace, and I was going to be really confused. but those were actually going to Vermilion. Taking a quick look at GPM, huge advantage for Pookie Bear in the middle lane. That's going to be because of those kills. Nice damage down in bottom lane by Warwiz, but again, that is the terror of going in on a Vermilion. Once you turn your back, he's going to shoot you like 5 times.
Oh yeah, and let's take a look at what he's maxing. Yeah, he's maxing Deadeye full on. That's what you really want to do as Vermilion nowadays, and most of that is just, as you said, being able to harass, being able to trade, and even if you do take a trade, as soon as your opponent turns his back, you're going to be able to land a couple of extra auto attacks, just like we saw him do right there. So Tompus is pretty much in control of the bot lane, 400 gold per minute to 285, 290 about for Warwitz. So, and we're going to see this push right underneath his tower as well, which is something that is also going to affect Warwitz negatively.
Yeah, he will need to be careful though. Tompus has clear gold advantage, but if he oversteps, we've seen what a Harrower can do to a squishy target, especially after that golden protector comes out. Once he has that, he's just not going to take enough damage, and he'll be able to beat on Tompus pretty hard. SMD pretty low in this middle lane, takes a little bit of damage from Zingod. There was a Dragon Breach that went out and pulled him back. Actually, aggressive play forward, jump away by SMD. Rocket Boots by Pookie Bear to late in that shock field, but that did not land. So good play there by SMD to get himself out of trouble. And we're not seeing Ascent Gaming take their huge standard, like, we crush everything advantage, but they're winning top lane, they're winning bottom lane.
Yep, and if we look at the gold graphs, you can see that the gold is going ever so slightly in their favor. It's about 1,000 at this point. So this game is definitely going much better for Crimson Blade than it did in the first game. And one thing that tells me is that Crimson Blade, one thing that they can do really well, Pookie Bear is going to get the stun down on SMD, but he was already mid-air, so he got stunned as he landed instead of before he started jumping, so he was already too far away to capitalize on that. But as I was saying, one thing that we can tell that Crimson Blade is doing really well is basically resetting their mindset, and that's something that I touched upon early game, is really, really important when you want to play a best-of series, because that's the thing that's going to allow you to get comebacks. If you lose one game and you get rattled from that game, you're probably going to end up losing the second game. So Crimson Blade, again, doing a very good job of making sure that they don't let the first game rattle them too much.
Yeah, and it's one of the hallmarks of a good player and a good team when you can rally back together and regain focus. And Crimson Blade is one of the newer teams we've seen. If you look back at a lot of the Strife Pro League, the SPL, Ascent Gaming is the longest standing, most experienced, and highest win rate team in the game right now. They are being definitely followed by Flipside Tactics, TFTD, but they are they're number one right now. If you looked at any team, Ascent Gaming is really the team that's winning the most. When you get down so much as they did in that last game, and you're able to rally back and start pulling a much closer game, that shows a good level of mental fortitude, and that's what Crimson Blade's going to need to do. They're really not down that much gold. It's really about 900. Less than probably about 100 per character, and actually a nice engagement onto Zingod. That's a lot of damage coming out. Stun comes in from OJC, full combo, and they pick up that kill. Pookie Bear didn't have enough damage. He's still sitting on that death rate and steps forward. He should not have stepped out there. Nice dash forward by OJC, a phenomenal ultimate. He'll pick up that kill, and Zeal was already roaming in to make another play.
Yeah, unfortunately, Pookie Bear just overstepping his boundaries just a little bit. And one thing you also have to worry about when you are laning, especially against a comp like Caprice Ace, you really need to watch out for their level 6. They hit a huge power spike, especially Caprice's initiations get super strong as soon as she hits level 6, because obviously she can dash around with her ultimate and make plays happen there. But it looks like both Pookie Bear and OJC are going to try to rotate down in the bot lane. Let's see who can come away with the kill, or if they're both just going to end up backing off. It looks like OJC is going to try to go for the over-the-wall play.
Well, Pookie Bear does have his ultimate, and there's the stun, dash over the wall. He's not going to make it out of there. Phenomenal play there by Tompus. He actually finished the job before Bone came in. This is going to be a tower transition, so that's a great play there by Ascent Gaming. Saw the kill, saw the tower at half. They'll pick that one up. Dash forward by OJC. Can he land the stun? He gets the stun into Pookie Bear. That's going to be Bone falling off. He'll pick up the kill. 2 kills tower. Meanwhile, up in top lane, the engagement is on to Ruckus. SMD rotated up here. Zevo pops the ultimate, gets a lot of damage down. Ultimate comes out of SMD. He picks up the kill. That's going to be 3 kills and a tower transitioning over for Ascent Gaming. A phenomenally timed play.
Yeah, Ascent Gaming just on point with the rotations right now. We can see why they dominated the scene for the last season. Just being able to send Vex to the bottom lane, push that tower, Meanwhile, you have a 2v1 in the top lane and a 1v1 in the mid lane because we already saw Pokebear rotate down. The 2v1 top lane is not going to expect any sort of fight from that one person.
Play in bottom lane, though. Pokebear has rotated and gets off a lot of the damage and the stun. Still has not used the ultimate and is waiting to find the line. Shoots out the ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. There's also a Deliverance in the middle lane. That was a 3-man play that picked up a kill. And up in top lane, just Zeevil is continuing to push. So kill in favor of Ascent Gaming, and they didn't lose the AD carry like it looks like they were going to. Tompus was able to walk away from that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there because Warwitz actually, when Pokebear went in for the fight and got the stun down, Warwitz actually backed off a little bit. So a little bit of indecisiveness right there prevented them from getting the kill, which is a shame because that was one of the big chances they had to come back into the game, and now OJC is free to roam
top lane. In goes OJC. Nature's Fury goes down. Ruckus actually still alive. Great play there. Ultimate comes out of Zeevil. That'll do a ton of damage, but that was an amazing defense, and now the cavalry is on the way. Can they get onto them? That Nature's Fury is going to be up for a while, and now Ruckus is healing. He does have that potion. In comes the backup. Pokebear coming in. Can he get off the shock field? He lays in the stun. That's going to lock down 2 targets. Robot comes in. Nice Dragon's Reach back on the bone. That's going to be 1 kill going over to him. Gifted comes in, uses that hook shot to get a little bit closer to Zeevil. And now Zeevil on the run. Can they follow up? They don't have the fits up to finish the job. Should go down soon. Juking around. Tries to lay out the Everthirst Flame stun, but that's going to be Pokebear picking up that kill. But despite all of that gold advantage, all that gold gain, still a 4,000 gold lead. That last huge play from Ascent Gaming transitioned them very, very far ahead. Bone's going to use those teleport boots to get into the bottom lane. Zingod and Warwiz are here trying to get onto either him or Tompus. Dragon's Reach goes out, doesn't land on anything. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Ruckus gets dived. That's going to be the ultimate, or the double dive coming in from OJC. Stun from him, slow from SMD, and they pick up another kill back to the bottom lane. Looks like Warwiz and Zingod wanted to make a play, but I think it's going to come down to a Dragon's Reach before anything happens. And that should be a little bit of a disengage for the moment.
Yeah, and you talked about that gold swing from the few kills that Crimson Blade picked up near the top lane, and the big reason why it didn't swing any further is because they couldn't just take any objectives off of it. And that was the big thing. They were getting pushed on very, very hard in the bottom lane, so they had to send people down there to prevent this tower from going down, and that basically prevented them from pushing top tower or mid tower or going for Baldir. There were a lot of things that could have been done but were prevented just from the amount of map pressure that Ascent Gaming has. You just have to send 2 people down to the bot lane to stop Tompus at this point because he's just so far ahead. He's got his level 9 already, and it looks like they're going to be able to take mid tower. Might be seeing an engagement after this, but neither team necessarily wants to go for it. Zingod is going ham.
Aggressive step forward. Tompus plays down the ultimate, gets off the the lockdown onto Zingod. He's still alive, but Zeevil finishes the job. Now Pokebear coming in, looking to come in onto this. There was a Deliverance fired. I think that was up in the top lane. Zingod is going to be picked up by Zeevil. Now they're looking for another target. Zeevil uses out a really nice Razor to try and get away, but the chase is there. Gifted comes in, picks up the kill. Nice play there. They're going to need to be careful about another re-engage from the side. S&D coming in, gets the slow, gets a lot of damage down onto Pokebear, looking for the jump. There it is. Does he have the ultimate? Gets actually stunned out, and a nice shield comes in from Ruckus. They'll force SMD away. He's still taking a lot of damage now. OJC looking to come in. Can he find a target low enough health? Gets the stun to Ruckus. Should be able to finish off the job. Picks up the combo. Now onto Warwiz. Tompus is there as well. A little bit more damage. They're not going to be able to follow that one up. OJC gets Dragon Reach back in. There was a nice shield by the Vex. Bone was able to help him get out of trouble. That shield kept him alive. And SMD picks up the kill onto Pokebear on the backside of the fight. Sneaking around. He should die though. I don't know who he's going to be able to, who's going to help him get away from this. Warwiz comes in, is healing. He's going to start taking some tower damage and actually dashes away. Is it going to be the execution? No. Warwiz finishes off the job and picks up that kill, but still, Ascent Gaming winning that fight overall, and OJC looking for his next target.
Yeah, that fight actually wasn't as bad as it could have been. Crimson Blade showed off some pretty good positioning right there, especially when Pokebear played around right here when Ace jumped on him. Oh, Vex ulting in the mid lane.
Coming in. Bone goes in with the ultimate. Doesn't actually get a good stun off onto Zingod. Needs to be careful. The Dragon's Reach is going to miss. Morwiz is continuing the chase, but he's very, very low on mana. Those rockets from Bone doing good damage. He's going to get a slow on the Zingod. And now SMD comes in onto the back of the fight. Should be able to finish off Ruckus. There's a stun. They will be able to pick up one. Zingod goes down. SMD gets another. Deliverance actually missed all targets. Phenomenal shield out of Bone. That helps keep him alive. And he dodges out the Death Ray. No kill there for Pokebear. And a stun comes in from Tompus. That's going to be Warwiz going down. Gifted is in trouble. He's going to be saved by some of this stun from Pokebear. The Everthirst Flame doesn't connect from Zeevil, and that is going to be Ascent Gaming picking up 3 more kills for nothing.
And we can still tell that Ascent Gaming are
Oh
looking
my god,
3
there's a
moves.
Shadow Cloak on Zeevil. SMD goes in, picks up an instant kill. Everthirst Flame lands onto Pookie Bear. OGC wants to follow up on that, but now he's in a little bit of trouble. It's going to be a missed Burrow Bot and a nice stun by OGC. He'll walk away from that. They weren't able to get a Dragon's Reach on him either. And great play there. Ruckus still seems to want it a little bit. Throws a Vine into the bush. It's going to miss Zeevil as he was nowhere near that. And back in the bottom lane, this tower should be going down soon. Unless they decide they want to dive onto Warwiz Tompus using that range to make something happen. In comes the double teleport coming in, Zingod as well as Bone. Bone should be able to help back this up. There's going to be a nice Dragon Reach back onto Tompus, but the shield was there from Bone that stopped the slowdown. Ruckus comes in. SMD with a phenomenal amount of damage. He's able to just slow everybody down. He pays for it with his life. Bone is going to fall as well. Double kill going over to Pookie Bear. Can Ruckus chase onto Tompus? Fervor Boots come out. He is seen, is popped a potion. Can the Biden Weed land? It's going to miss by inches, and that's going to be Ascent Gaming walking away from that. A 2-for-1, so they did lose the play. Actually, Warwiz decides to continue the chase on Tompus, but I'm not sure he wants to pick that fight. Chi Shot goes down. Tompus should be able to walk away from this. Pookie Bear waiting along the side to make a play, but there's nobody there, and the wave isn't there to help them push this up. They're going to lose this top tower for continuing the chase.
Yeah, we do see that Zingod is on his way to onto the top lane. He might be able to clear the wave fast enough, but he needs to watch out because Zeevil and OJC can easily dive him with the amount of burst they have. As so long as they land one stun, they're going to go for it.
Yep, there's one stun. Actually, they decide to back away. Zingod's starting to get pretty tanky. Also, Gifted coming up from the side. Can he make a play? Doesn't decide to go on to Zeevil, who has gone with Fervor Boot. So that is a Fervor Boot Shadow Cloak on that Jin Shi. Nice Bindweed's going to land on the Bone, but he's not really the target they want. Now Tompus feels confident. One more auto attack. Nope, he can't make that happen. There's a Deliverance up on the other side of the map. I don't know if that was a follow-up. And now Tompus looking for the kill. It's actually going to land on him, so he does pick up one, but that was a huge cross-map Deliverance coming out from, I believe it was Gifted, and that helps them get their revenge kill. So turning things around, Crimson Blade, they haven't lost the fight in them, although they are really far behind in terms of map objectives.
Yeah, and really good communication right there to make sure that the Deliverance landed on the target they wanted, but even if they have small plays like that, the big thing that Crimson Blade is missing right now is the big map rotations. They're huge team play,
is in
objective
trouble,
control.
getting a lot of damage onto him. Is the burn gonna finish the job? No, he's able to live. Actually, a nice Everthirst Flame Blackbirds is gonna get Gifted killed. Great play by Zeevil to throw out his last bit of mana and let SMD finish the job.
Meanwhile, Pookie Bear gets killed by OJC in a 1v1, and here comes the Vex Ultimate, stunning out Warwiz.
Oh, Warwiz is in so much trouble. He's going to be brought down by Bone. Now, SMD is going to get pulled back in. He needs to be very, very careful. But Ruckus doesn't really have the follow-up damage. Zingod is the only one there, and now he's going to walk right into Tompus. Tompus comes out, starts doing his damage. Nice stun comes in from OGC. He's going to fall, surely. And now Zingod tries to finish off someone, but instant mobility. This is a high-mobility team coming out from Ascent Gaming. Lots of jump, shields, and movement speed bonuses.
Very much indeed, and now Zeevil in the top lane is going to get teleported on, but he might be able to take this tower. Actually, it's SMD's teleport. He is going ham and just trying to zone people out and make sure that that tower goes down 100%. Pookie Bear is going to try to catch him out. Do they have enough damage?
They should have enough, though. Death Ray is still there. They'll be able to do it without that, though. Pookie Bear does get that one kill, so good job by Crimson Blade not to give up yet. Again, the pressure is still on. If we take a look at the gold graph right now, it's a little over 10,000, and Zingod is looking for blood. Is going to run right into OJC, who tries to finish off Warwiz. Nice bindweed in by Ruckus. That should be able to pick up one. Oh, the shield was almost enough. Double killed by Ruckus, or by Pookie Bear there. Now they're going to continue to chase on the Bone. This may have been a little over-aggressive. Deliverance is going to miss, and that would have been the kill. Good sidestep there by Bone. So Crimson Blade, they're almost there. Their engagements are almost close enough to really make things happen.
Yep, and it looks like they're going to finally try to force a siege in the mid lane, getting to use the Nature's Fury for pushing an objective control, but they're going to get initiated on.
Oh my god, huge play in there by SMD. He landed on everyone. Full damage comes in as well as Zeevil. Gifted is still alive, but that's not really going to matter as Bone picks up a kill. It's actually a triple kill for SMD. He wants that quadra. Chasing on the Ruckus, gets the slow. Jin Shi comes in. Can Zeevil land something? He's actually out of mana. So they're going to just have to body chase this one down. Shield from Ruckus. He'll survive a little bit of time. Maybe he'll pick up the revenge on SMD. He will get the revenge on SMD. Quadra kill from SMD, though. That is going to be a lot of gold in his pocket. The items are going to start to flow. He's got an Winter Charm, Teleport Boots, Reaper Scythe. I see something huge in his future.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it looks like they're going to start pushing the mid lane. Gift is the only one here who can stop that, but he's going to get...
OJC should finish that one off very, very quickly.
But OJC gets
actually
pulled
lands
back.
He's gonna get the stun down on the Pookie Bear. Pookie Bear looking to get something, but actually misses the play. Looking to maybe get Bone, uses the Burrow Bot. One more auto attack will get the job done, but he gets destroyed! Great play by OJC to save his teammate. Now Tompus being chased by Warwiz. Zingod is gonna be dueling out with SMD, and Tompus actually lands the ultimate that Rocket slows down Warwiz, and there's the defense. He's gonna get away, and SMD picks up the kill. This is phenomenal play coming in from Ascent Gaming. They know exactly how strong they are, and just huge items coming out soon.
Yeah, Ascent is everywhere around the map at once, and it shows in their play, and now SMD is getting chased out.
Yep, under a little bit of pressure, but he's still got backup coming in. He feels confident. Pops the other Winter Charm, uses the spin. It should be Bone who's able to pick up this kill onto Warwiz, pops the rockets, finishes the job. SMD walks away with so little health, but now Bone may pay for his hubris. Steps a little too far forward. That's going to be Pookie Bear picking up that one.
Yeah, the game has basically devolved into all action all the time at this point. Neither team has really a big purpose as to what they want to do. They don't have any single goal. At this point, it's just fight, 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 fight. Crimson Blade wants to fight as much as they can to just try to keep people off of taking their generators, make sure that Ascent Gaming can't push as much as they want to, and as well as the kills are really the only way they're going to be able to come back into the game. They need the gold from it, and they're not really going to be able to push down objectives until they get enough gold to fight anyone on Ascent Gaming. As we saw in the mid lane, they tried to siege down this tower, but a great initiation took most of them down to about a quarter of health, and that was just SMD's damage alone. So they really need to hope for some sort of Hail Mary play in order to come back into this game and maybe even bring it to a third game.
Well, there's about a 700 damage count. Oh, JC goes in. And that's a lot of damage on a Ruckus. SMG's going to step forward. He's taking a lot of damage, though. He may fall for this, so it actually ends up being a 1-for-1. I was just about to talk about SMD's damage combo. He's picked up that Grimoire, and it just has so much magic power that he hits like an absolute truck. Nice stun on the Zingod. They may decide to re-engage this as Tompus has shown up. Gets a little bit of damage down on the Zingod. Does he have that Frost Prism? He does, so that slow play coming out from the Vermilion. Nice shield from Bone is going to help keep him alive. He's actually going to live through that death ray and steps away from it. Great play by Bone to use that shield at just the right time. Now Bone continuing the chase forward, wants to finish off somebody. They will have the slow coming in from Warwiz and a nice Q that comes out of Bone. And now Zevil steps forward, finishes off this tower, chase out by Pookie Bear, but he's not going to step into 4 members. And they've got SMD off on the side of the fight during the middle of that, pushing a generator.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to get too much health down. Ruckus is here to stop them, and Pookie Bear's going to be rotating up very, very shortly. Ruckus gets taken down about 3/4 health. Still not too much that he's going to have to worry about, and it looks like, oh no, SMD is going to try to bait out the high ground. Unfortunately, it's not going to look like it doesn't look like it's going to work. Crimson Blade is, oh no, gifted, he just barely decides to change his mind and not actually go up to the high ground. He's learned from what happened last game whenever anyone on his team went to the high ground, so it looks like, oh wow, SMD is still trying to go at it, but Warwiz now, this big monster's chasing him down.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive. SMD's going to go forward, pops the Everwinter Charm. That's so much damage coming in. Zevil dashes forward, and again, I was talking about that magic penetration from that Grimoire. They just destroy, and to be honest, this is a high magic-based team. Zevil is really their only attack damage. There's just so much magic damage coming out. I'm surprised there aren't more dampening cloaks.
And that is a really good point you make, and that's something that can really help change the tides of the fight. Zevil is not actually going to be taking much damage, but I think you meant SMD before instead of Zevil, but OJC goes in for it.
Oh my god, Gifted gets destroyed. Ultimate comes in from Bone. He's going to zone a lot of them away, and they're doing this pretty much without Sindara. Now they have Tompus waiting on the side. It's a lot of very, very low targets. They may decide to rotate. I don't know. They just have so much control right now. Looking for a fight. And actually, SMB is going to be backing. Should be able to teleport back in, as I believe he has those teleport boots. Yes. Picks up a power relic, is looking for the teleport back in. Zevil steps forward, takes a lot of damage. OJC on the side is going to get brought down. They weren't able to finish off Ruckus, so that was a good play by Crimson Blade to slow things down. But in goes SMD. Huge damage, just destroys Warwiz. Steps off to the side, pops the Everwinter Charm, slows them down. Now Zingod continuing the chase. He's actually going to use the ultimate, gets the health back, destroys Ruckus. Now in comes Zevil. He's going to get down a nice stun. And Tompus comes in past the tower, goes goes right past the generator, doing a lot of damage to Gifted. Those auto attacks hit really hard. In comes the slow. Zeevil gets the shield and is still alive. They are all so low, and they're actually going to use the minion wave in the bottom lane to push some damage onto this generator and be able to get themselves out of the base.
Yeah, Zeevil is so low, and I can tell Pokebear wants to do something about it, but he just can't. He doesn't have the health for it, and at this point he's going back in for it, seeing what he can do. No rocket boots, so he's not going to be able to land that stun, and at this point Ascent Gaming is going to be able to walk out of there. The Burrowbot's not going to be able to catch up to Tompus up there, and it looks like both teams are just going to back off a little bit, and at this point Ascent Gaming, they're probably just going to want to start grouping and ending it at this point.
Yeah, they definitely have the power. I mean, that's a double power relic on S&D. He hits like an absolute truck. Has a let me take a look at his power right now. 225, which is absolutely insane. The highest member on, I believe, on Crimson Blade is their Ray with 182. So that is an insane amount of power on, you know, just their just one of their characters. Everyone else is pretty much in line with that as well.
Yeah, and if we look at the gold graphs, which we haven't really done in a while, almost 30,000. The gold lead has escalated to a point where it's higher than it was in the first game. Oh, JC almost gets caught out.
He's going to get hooked back in. Oh my god, he's alive! That shield was amazing out of Bone. A nice ultimate comes in, and a rocket lands on the Warwiz. He's actually going to finally pick up OJC, but the rest of his team is scattering. They're chasing onto Zingod, as well as onto Gifted. Tomp is trying to get in range. Can Zeevil land something? It actually does get off that slow. Picks up the double kill, chased onto Zingod. I can't believe OJC lived as long as he did. Dodge that Dragon's Reach. Double kill for Vex. This is going to be GG.
Yeah, Ascent Gaming was just a little bit too far ahead, and they had too much damage, or too much healing, too much shielding on Vex. They were so far ahead that shield just shielded for quite a bit, allowed OJC to get out, and at this point, since Crimson Blade just used so much of their kit in order to try to take down OJC, and he still walked away after that, that just pretty much spelled game for them. Now, looks like the rest of CB is up, but I don't think they're going to be able to get any return kills. Oh, a snipe from Pokebear.
That was a great play there. Maybe Warwiz can finish off Bone. I mean, I called it GG because I thought they would group up and push, but they decided they weren't strong enough and the death timers weren't long enough. But yeah, Bone, you're in a lot of trouble here, man. He's going to get chased down by Warwiz. Pops the shield and the Everwinter Charm to get some slow, so he's just going to keep Warwiz busy. Is probably going to go down. There he goes. That's going to be a kill going over, but that's all three generators down. Huge item pickups coming out. Oh, Zeevil.
Gifted gets completely bursted down right there from the Shadow Cloak of Zeevil. Oh, he's going to try to end the game right now. It looks like the rest of the team isn't close enough to follow up. He's dueling down